Watch it, bro. Whoa, we're live.
I'm all about the cowboy shit, but
All
especially
about
cowboy Brock shit.
it.
Cowboy
Is
Brock
the
shit. That's where the money's at. Cowboy Brock.
Cowboy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the hour where there's nothing left to prove. Experimental lack of concern. Picture a perfect world being burned. This is the maniacal hour. Pure 100% underground. Powered by the emotion of self-passion. This is how we get down. Extra read all about it. Evidence coming to take control. Extra read all about it. Evidence coming to take control. Lock and load, steal souls and watch it explode. Dispatch the death squad and watch it go. Serial killers, cadavers, murderous psychos. As the hour goes, it takes the time expires as we live dead, revitalized. Surprised by the high with red still in our eyes. The pleasure is all ours to give you the power. This is the maniacal hour.
It is Sunday, February 27th, 2022. You are tuned into the Blow Off, presented by the Hameen Media Group, channelattitude.com. Jimmy, I can barely contain my excitement for this week's show because as we were getting ready to go live, I've edited a lot of videos, ladies and gentlemen, and somehow this one has escaped me until Jimmy and I sat down. So we're running a little bit later than I wanted to be today. But Jimmy, it's well worth the wait. It's well worth the wait. I'm only going to play them the short version. They're not going to get the long version yet. The long version will be available over on the YouTubes and whatnot, over on the Facebooks. But no. They're going to have to wait for the greatest video I've ever made.
Please hit it, bro. You got to hit it because I don't want to give it away, man. I've got a big smile on my face and I'm just giggling like a little girl right now, dude. Until you play it, I mean seriously.
We can't continue until I do it, can I mean, it's just...
We can't. I'm sorry, dude. I'm telling you. This is going to go viral, Jago.
I think it is. Wait for the long version, but I think, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Inner Circle. Oh, the long version's coming. It's coming. My God. The stupid things we talk about in the pre-production meetings. That's
man.
Just...
Always, man. And they're always fucking good shit, bro. Seriously, it's always good shit. The shit we say off camera, well, actually on camera, but off the air.
Way better. Way better
man.
than what actually makes the show. Way better than what makes the show.
I'm telling you, man. If only the people knew.
So, Jimmy, it's been a fun week inside of the world of pro wrestling. We are officially on the road to WrestleMania. Revolution is right around the corner. We've got some free agents. We've got some things that don't make any sense. But I feel like it's been a good week inside of the world of pro wrestling. We got celebrity debuts. We got great promos. I mean, some would call like all-time promos. We're going to talk about MJF and Punk to kick things off. What did you make of just kind of the macro this week inside of wrestling?
You know what? It was a fun week, dude. I actually thought it was a fun week. I thought SmackDown was decent. More particularly, the end was the best part of the show anyway. I mean, Dynamite, some say, was possibly the best Dynamite ever. That's what people have been saying. I won't call it the best ever. Right.
Wow.
But it was a good show. It was a decent show.
Well, you know what's interesting about that to me is that was the most WWE version of Dynamite that I think we've seen. Like, there was a lot of talking on that show. You had the great promo from MJF. You had the Eddie Kingston and Jericho thing, the Moxley and Bryan thing. Like, there was a lot of talking on that show. For people to be calling that a great episode of Dynamite, that's pretty interesting to me.
Well, maybe that's what the people want. I mean, at the end of the day, they were in Stanford, right?
There is that.
There you go. So maybe it
is
was all
that.
about sports entertainment and not professional wrestling after all.
Well, let's talk about the entertainment, and let's start with Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He's better than you, and you know it. And coming out of Dynamite on Wednesday, I think a lot of people are totally drinking the MJF Kool-Aid. Some calling this an all-time great promo. I mean, we'll have to see what happens this Wednesday. Jimmy, what did you make of the MJF promo kind of in the micro? And then I want to look at it more inside of the macro.
All right. Well, first of all, I thought it was a great promo by MJF, but we'll get into it why I thought it was probably the wrong promo to do and the wrong time to do it. Because as good as it was, let's be honest, man, did he really need to do that sort of promo in
Well,
this
and
type
now
of
we're
feud?
only a week out now from Revolution. Revolution is in a week.
Right.
I'm really interested to see what they're going to do on Wednesday to kind of pull the rug out from underneath of everybody. They have to, right?
You'd think they'd have to, but if they don't, then what?
Well, I mean, if you don't pull the rug out from underneath of everybody, I feel like the only option is you have to do a double turn at Revolution, and CM Punk has to take a sock full of quarters and throw them at MJF and tell the little Jew boy to pick it up. Because, I mean, at this point, like, I don't know what else you do. Like, all of the sympathy is on MJF right now. And as great as that promo was, and it was a great promo.
It was 100%.
But AEW needs to quit giving people a reason to like MJF, because he's quickly becoming guy number 213 on the AEW roster that people don't know how they're supposed to feel about him. Whereas everybody hated MJF and they did the thing in Long Island. Now they're doing this whole quit giving people a reason to like MJF. That's my greater problem with it. It was a great promo. But as far as the purpose goes, I feel like it's totally short-sighted.
It's exactly the same issue that I have also, Jugger. And like I was saying before, great promo, wrong time, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So unless they're going to go babyface, then what was the point?
I mean, that's why they have to pull the rug out, not only from under CM Punk, but from underneath of the fans this Wednesday on Dynamite. And I'm not even sure how you do that.
How do you do it? I mean, and this is the problem, man. And like I said, let's not take away anything from the promo because it was a fucking great one, right?
Well, and especially now that it's been proven at least a big chunk of that promo was true. Like you can find the Facebook post, right? So I mean, that's the problem. Like if Punk could come out and prove this entire thing to be false on Wednesday, that would be one thing. But how do you do that without presenting CM Punk like he's a psychopath who's been going insane about this for the last week? And now he's out here trying to discredit Max. And doesn't that make him the heel? Like it gets so convoluted. I don't know how you pull the rug out from underneath of everybody on Wednesday. Dude,
but how do you pull the rug when most of the shit he said were pretty much facts? That's the problem, man. I mean, can't pull the rug.
It was a great like backstory.
It was from the heart, dude. It was from the heart. It really was.
It was a great supervillain origin story.
Definitely, and made total sense too, man. And you understood exactly where MJF is coming from now after all that, man. You really do. But then, like you said earlier, you can't help but like the guy now, man.
Well, yeah, because I mean, even like Thanos, right? Like the biggest, baddest, most evil motherfucker in the entire galaxy. Snap and half of the fucking universe is gone. But he explains it and you understand the reasoning for it. You understand his logic to where, no. I'm not wiping out half of the world. I'm saving the other half. There's a logic and a reason to why he is Thanos. Now I feel like we have the reason why Maxwell Jacob Friedman is Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Well, and the thing is, man, when you saw him coming to the ring with tears, dude, I'm telling you, man, they were legit, bro. I felt like he really felt the way he felt back then, dude. And it made so much sense. I love the fact that he called CM Punk a coward, dude. He's a cat, he fucking meant that shit, bro. Like I said, it came from the heart. I believed him. I mean, shit, dude. I mean, this was great.
It was great.
I mean,
it was a great promo.
Great, but again, you alienate your fans, though, dude.
Right. Are you hurting yourself in the long term? Because I don't feel like we're anywhere close to being ready for an MJF
Hell
babyface
no.
turn. I don't
No
feel like we're
way.
anywhere close to being ready for a CM Punk heel turn as much as people want to see it. Like, I don't feel like the character is even remotely close at this
No.
point. So it seems mistimed to me.
Right, and that's what doesn't make sense. Like, whose idea was this? Was this MJF's and CM Punk's to do this?
Well,
Was this Tony Khan?
I'm fascinated by what they do on Wednesday.
That's the thing. I don't know, bro. Like, what do they do? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you pull the rug from something that was actually true?
I don't know.
Unless, actually, there might be one way where he beats the crap out of Punk, but see, still, and I'm talking about not the inner circle. See, the inner circle, man, it's stuck in my head. But the Pinnacle, unless all the Pinnacle jump in and help him out, I still think the crowd
Is that
will
even
friggin'
enough?
cheer. That's what I'm saying. The fans will still cheer. I think he's booked himself in the friggin' corner now, man.
Yeah,
Unless we're getting a double turn, and even then, like you said, it's way too early either side.
yeah, timing. It just doesn't feel good. Doesn't
It's
feel
bizarre,
good.
bro. It's straight up bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, it's even more weird than that inner circle video. I mean, it's crazy how like creepily that kind of pairs up. It's
wow, it's weird, right? I mean, and like I said, the funniest shit happens off the air.
It's fantastic. Let's talk about Cesaro. Cesaro now departing the World Wrestling Entertainment. And I mean, everybody wants to see Cesaro end up in AEW. And I kind of hope that's where he ends up. But
I actually don't.
You don't. Where
No.
do you want to see Cesaro end up, or do you think Claudio just kind of walks away at this point?
Maybe Claudio Castagnoli has one last run in Ring of Honor, dude. Once again, we go full circle.
I mean, it's entirely possible, but I mean, my understanding of ROH and the way that ROH is going to operate going forward, I mean, that's like a couple of weeks and he could have his run in Ring of Honor because he'd go in for a taping, he gets paid for the taping, and then he goes home. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a long-term deal. So I mean, like, long-term, what do you want to see happen for the former Cesaro at this point? Because I mean, he is 41 years old at this point. So if Cesaro is going to get a run somewhere, he's got to do it now.
Right. I'm not sure, man. Don't be surprised if he still ends up back in WWE, to be honest with you, right? And as far as AEW goes, I don't think there's room for him right now, dude. Really. I mean, where does he fit if he comes into AEW? Are you going to have the United Nations again, whatever they were called, with Miro and Sheamus and Alberto Del Rio, but except you got Miro and Cesaro?
Well, I mean, I'd be down with Miro and Cesaro, but...
Or should I say Miro and Claudio? Because he'll be... Claudio, right. Yeah, Claudio Castagnoli. He'll be just using his real name.
Bring him in as part of the Legion of Dragons. I mean, like, I think that'd be pretty
That would work.
That'd be pretty bad.
Like a little group of shoot fucking wrestlers, bro.
Because Cesaro is one of those rare talents to me where people are very, very high on Cesaro. And I understand why, because he's fantastic. But I also understand why Vince McMahon didn't want to push him as a main event talent.
Absolutely.
You know, so I understand both sides of it. He has always been a professional wrestler stuck in a sports entertainment company. That's how I've always felt about it.
Absolutely. You're right.
But if you're going to have, let's say, for example, Adam Cole would defeat Hangman Page at Revolution. Right. I could see Cesaro coming in as a babyface challenger to Adam Cole. I mean, obviously he'd get built up first, where, maybe you're looking not even double or nothing, maybe full gear. You could have him built up in time to face off with Adam Cole. I mean, it's still fairly early in the year. A lot of these guys only like 4-0, 5-0. Like he could get a bunch of matches in quick.
For sure.
But I feel like Cesaro is one of those talents where his bad booking in WWE, people just view him as he was misused in WWE. Like the second he walks out on a Dynamite stage, I feel like he feels like a main event talent just because of his reputation.
You think?
Yeah, I do.
You know, it's funny. Jeff Lippman was saying on the skirmish this past week that he feels that Cesaro has had a Hall of Fame worthy career. Do you agree with that? Because I don't.
I think so. I think he's a Hall of Famer. I mean,
Wow.
he's like a 5-time Raw Tag Team Champion.
That's exactly what he was saying. Yeah.
He won the SmackDown Tag titles. He was a United States Champion. He won the first Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Right.
I mean, he's been there for 11 years. He's beloved by the fans. I mean, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame headliner, but
No,
I think he's an also ran. I could see Cesaro getting into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel that I know he's got all these accolades, right? But I just feel like, I don't know, man. I totally understand why everybody loves him, right? And he's a joy to watch in the ring, but
he's a great professional wrestler. There's no question about that.
Maybe he's in the wrong timeline. You know what I mean? He would have worked out in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s. He's that type of wrestler.
He even would have been great in New Japan.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was about to mention that New Japan would be his best fit. I kid you not.
But I mean, there's a lot of problems that go with going to New Japan Pro Wrestling at this point, as far as traveling and whatnot go. But
picture him, man. He doesn't have to talk over there. He can just go boom, 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 and everybody will be loving it. Japan is the best fit for him. It really is. I think he'd be huge in Japan.
Oh yeah, stylistically, he would be absolutely amazing in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Shout out to our boy Colin the Cleaver Andrew. He's in the chat room over on Facebook. We got Colin Wysong in there. He's practicing his International Talk Like a Pirate Day. And my boy Jerry Slaughterhausen, he says that he wants to see people swinging it. He wants to see Cesaro swinging people like crazy in AEW. And I mean, he would too, because I mean, they're all cruiserweights. So Cesaro could go in there and spin around for 130, 140 times.
Oh God. Can you imagine him spinning Adam Cole? Seriously, he'd do it a good 200 times at least.
Oh yeah. I mean, he'd just keep going. Adam Cole would be skinny by the time Cesaro was done swinging him around.
Fuck. Have you noticed Adam Cole is obviously paying attention to what the IWC have been saying online, right? Because
clearly.
He's getting insecure, dude. He's starting to show off. Look what I've been doing. He's starting to do his little weights and posting it on.
Did you see he almost had a 4-pack?
Almost.
Almost had a 4-pack. Good for you, Adam Cole.
Well, do you think he's becoming insecure and paranoid? Maybe just a little bit.
Well, do you think that backstage, like when Adam Cole's just walking around backstage, like Excalibur sees him walking around and he's like, "Hey, what's up, you piece of shit?" Like, do you suppose Excalibur just calls him a fat piece of shit all the time?
Oh man, I call him a fat piece of shit all the time because he's a fat fuck. I mean, seriously, look at him.
He is the dad bod god, Adam Cole.
How do you think Britt feels about that, Jago? Seriously,
she seemingly likes the dad bod god. I mean,
and then we all have a chance now, huh?
I mean, there is that.
Nah.
What do you think is more likely? Well, we'll do a full Revolution preview on Uncaged next week. But what do you think is more likely? Does Adam Cole and Britt Baker both walk away champion, or neither walks away champion? What do you think is more likely?
Britt Baker walking away with the AEW Women's title is more likely because I feel that Adam Cole ain't winning anything. There is just no chance Adam Cole.
See, and I go the other way. I think Adam Cole walks out AEW champion, and I think Thunder Rosa walks out women's champion.
That's interesting. We both the complete opposite. Usually we agree on things, Jugger, but here we are. I truly think. I mean, give me a reason why you think they should go with Adam Cole, though.
Because he's not Hangman Adam Page. That's why.
Right.
I mean,
but he's Adam Cole, though, Jugger.
Yeah, but Adam Cole at least presents as a champion. Adam Cole presents as a big deal. Hangman Page presents like, what the fuck am I doing here?
Right. But you know what, man? This past week, even the week before, no, more like last week, this past week on Dynamite, if you checked out his promo, for once, he had a bit of fire in his promo. You know what I mean? I could take him actually serious this time until the Dark Order came out, of course.
I can take him seriously until I look in his eyes and I don't buy a word of it.
Right, yeah, you could say that all the previous weeks. I thought last week he truly looked like he meant what he said. You know what I mean? So
interesting.
I don't know. I saw things a little bit different. That could have saved his title aspirations, dude.
I just feel like the way the AEW landscape is shaping up right now, I feel like a heel champion is a better situation for the company. And I've never liked Hangman as champion. I was against him even winning that championship.
Right.
And then once he did, I think I've picked against him in every single one of his title matches, except for Lance Archer. And I would have rather had Lance Archer as the AEW World Heavyweight Champion than Hangman Page.
So would I, actually, believe it or not. But as far as I'm concerned, man, right now, I think he done himself a favor, man, with that promo. I felt
interesting.
And
I'll
I
have to
truly
rewatch
think,
it.
Right, rewatch it. I mean, like I said, don't let the Dark Order shit fool you, because that ruined it. But just the way he said in the way he put it, man, I could truly get behind that. But in saying that, doesn't mean he's the right champion. I just think Adam Cole ain't the right champion either right now. You know what I mean? To me, this is a wrong matchup.
I mean, I feel like I would put that title on pretty much anybody that's not Hangman Page, that's inside of the main event picture right now. I mean,
right now,
Danielson, Moxley, Omega, Cole. I just feel like there's such better options. Punk, MJF,
even Miro, who doesn't even appear anymore.
Well, Miro's filming a movie, is my understanding.
Okay, because no one says that, not even in the dirt sheets. I'm not even hearing anything about him.
Yeah, my understanding is he's off filming a movie. And that's why, like, even the vignettes have kind of stopped right now because so
it's true. And what do you think this big announcement is going to be, Jargo? Because I truly think it's going to be either a super show, right? Possibly a G1 with all the wrestling companies that's not WWE, or
what would give you that impression?
Only because what could this possibly be other than like a super show, or is it possible? And actually, you probably know this, Jargo, so you can put an end to this right away. But could TK be possibly buying Ring of Honor?
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything about it outside of I've read some fan speculation about it because of the way that he's teasing it. Tony Khan's got to quit doing this. Because the last time he built something like this up, Christian debuted.
And that's nothing against Christian, of course, but everybody was expecting a bigger deal.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely nothing against Christian. I still, to this day, I like Christian more as a talent than I like Edge. I've always felt that way going back to the Brood. But Tony Khan built it up like it was going to be this huge landmark, life-changing signing, and that was just not the case. There's not a talent out there he could bring in the way that he's building this up. Even if he brought in Okada, it would not live up to the buildup that he is putting out, because not that many people know who he is. And we saw that with Switchblade Jay White. Like, I don't see what could possibly be this huge company shattering announcement the way that he's building it up. Like, the way that he's building it up, this announcement should be entirely kayfabe, of course, that he has sold the company to Cody Rhodes. Like, like that, the way that he is building this thing up, like, that's got to be it.
Oh, man. First of all, if it was kayfabe sold to Cody Rhodes, people wouldn't buy it anyway, man. And that's the problem with today's bullshit, right? I just think that wouldn't work at all. Like, people be like, all right, TK, we all know the truth, blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. But could it also be possible that maybe we get Bray Wyatt, say?
Bray Wyatt does not live up to what Tony Khan has said.
I think it would be a huge deal, though, dude. He's the only one that could possibly live up to that. You don't think that's even possible at all?
I mean, I'm rereading this quote. Right. Okay. Now you tell me if Bray Wyatt lives up to this quote from Tony Khan. I can't yet reveal the announcement, but I hopefully will be able to soon. We're working on something massive. The legal team has us under NDAs, so I can't reveal all the details. But suffice to say, we're working on something that's going to be really great for the fans and the wrestlers. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. I don't know exactly when we'll be able to tell the fans. Now we do know it's going to be on Wednesday, but I know that it's coming very soon. So stay tuned to AEW. I can promise you something big is coming. That's not Bray Wyatt.
So what can this possibly be, dude, other than him buying ROH or a Super Show?
I don't know.
See what I mean?
I genuinely have no idea. Like when WCW said this, they brought in Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean?
First run back in 93, 4, whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah.
Like before, right before the NWO, you know.
Right.
But,
yeah. Right. When he had the whole parade with him signing. Yeah.
But I mean, there's not even a talent like that that's available.
The Rock?
The Rock's not coming back to wrestle full time. I mean, I think
weird shit has happened.
I think it would be more likely that you would see John Cena in AEW.
Oh my God. That would be a big deal, bro.
Well, because John Cena is hooked up with Warner Brothers.
Right. That's true.
And Warner Media. So, I mean, there's absolute possibilities as far as like cross promotion stuff goes. Maybe Peacemaker shows up in AEW.
Oh God, hell no. Please, no.
Only if he does the dance on the way to the ring.
Oh, fuck no, man. Please.
Dude, look, that shit is hilarious. Have you watched Peacemaker?
I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen a lot of shit about it.
My God. The
is
opening
it worth
sequence.
Be honest with me.
The opening sequence of Peacemaker alone is worth tuning in for the entire hour-long show.
It's on Netflix, right?
No, it's on.
I saw it somewhere. Was it Prime?
Is it Showtime or HBO?
Okay, maybe Showtime or HBO. I saw it like an ad on my television like recently. But anyway, I can't remember
where. It's amazing. It's amazing. The opening like entrance part of Peacemaker, you know how it always gives you the option skip intro? Not once. Fuck you. I'm not skipping this shit once. It's amazing. Have you seen the opening of Peacemaker?
No, I've just seen a lot of ads about it though, man.
Oh my word.
I'll check it out. But you know what? That's one of the things that could make this a big deal. That's why I thought The Rock possibly, because when he said that he had to check in with his lawyers and all that shit, right, with NDAs and all that, it could only be a Hollywood friggin' blockbuster type of actor that's possibly a wrestler. The Rock or Cena. Cena makes sense though. If it's Cena though, man, that's huge, bro. And that would
Cena would make more sense.
It would, it would be massive, bro. Can you imagine he came out like on Dynamite? I think we're overblowing. It's probably not Cena, but whatever it is, if it's not Cena, it will be a disappointment. Put it that way.
I mean, I kind of want Peacemaker now. The more I'm thinking about this, the more I like the idea of Peacemaker showing up inside of AEW.
Well, on a positive note, right? If it is Cena, just say it is John Cena. We could possibly get him to have a run in New Japan, which I think he would be good in as well, dude. Can you picture that? He'd be a megastar in New Japan.
I just the fact that I know this Warner Media thing is out there, and I mean, of course, I don't think John Cena is going to debut inside of AEW, but it would be really, really cool because if he did, that would mean that I am very, very close to getting my dream match of Hiroshi Tanahashi versus John Cena.
Absolutely. And God, it has to happen once. Come on.
That would be worth it.
It's John Cena versus John Cena of Japan.
Yeah, I mean, that would be worth it. That would be worth it. But I do think it's more likely. Let's talk about WrestleMania.
Okay.
I was actually going to save this for a little bit later, but it's okay. We'll do it now. I think it's more likely that John Cena shows up in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, that makes sense. He does do that with numerous house shows, actually.
Well, I mean, it sounds like Bobby Lashley is out. Bobby Lashley dealing with a shoulder injury.
I still think that's a cover-up, bro.
But it was supposed to be Lashley versus Brock inside of the Garden for the WWE Championship. If Bobby Lashley can't go, who do you put opposite of Brock Lesnar? John Cena makes a lot of sense to me.
Do we really need to see that match though again?
Well, we're not going to see that match because it's not even televised, regardless of who it is.
Oh yeah, true. You're right.
It's not televised. It's a house show, and I could see John Cena coming in to do a house show for WWE at the Garden opposite of Brock Lesnar for 3 minutes. And, Vince gives him $500,000 and thanks for coming, John.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I guess that's irrelevant to us because we won't see it. But if it is the case, but like I said, do you squash the guy again? I mean, didn't Lesnar squash him way back in 2012?
Well, you know what you do. All right. You have Brock Lesnar come out first.
Right.
And then you darken all of the lights.
Oh, here we go.
And instead of John Cena, you get
Make a move extreme. Shortcut to your dream. A blow straight to the stars on a flying thing. Getting snowblind games. Pikachu, Chickapoo in the world beyond. Got a beat, got a heat on a phony string. Tear your world apart. Once the magic starts. Do you want Texas? What's going on, must come down. Baby, I'm losing ground. To become the mirror lights the whole world. Dancing with your blinkers on. For your door, the invisible bone. Do you want Texas? What's going on must come down. Baby, I'm losing ground. To become the mirror lights the whole world. Dancing with your blinkers on. For your door, the invisible bone.
Yeah, do that. I'm all fucking in, bro.
Fuck.
But I'm just saying, Brock Lesnar has to take Eagly to Suplex City. Eagly has to go to Suplex City.
How funny was that with the eagle at the end, though?
Well, it's his pet. It's
Oh,
Eagly.
man. Oh, sorry, Eagly. But it was funny because he's like posing and he's like looking like,
Bro, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
if they killed all the lights and John Cena came out, did that whole dance,
oh, fuck.
that place would
Ugh.
that would be amazing. It would be the most legendary thing to ever happen inside
Oh
of
my
Madison Square
God.
Garden, Jimmy T.
No, I'm sure the New
They
Yorkers.
would sell out the Garden for the next 5 years if John Cena would come out and do that dance routine, and then Brock Lesnar just, picked him up, F5'd him to hell, and took Eagly to Suplex City.
But does Eagly, do we have someone dressed up as Eagly or
No,
does
it
it
has
look
to
like
be
an
the
actual
fucking
eagle?
bird, Jim. It has to be the actual bird.
That would be funny though.
I mean, they do all that CGI
Oh,
shit,
man.
right?
Yeah, right. But come on now. Are we
Brock,
gonna get that shit?
take Eagly to Suplex City.
Oh man, and he starts going Suplex City, bitch. You know what I mean? At the end of it. Nah, man, that's a bit too weird. But look, if Cena came out like that.
Oh man, you think that's weird? You should watch the show.
Oh man, see now I just think it's total trash. What is
it's
even the show-
amazing. It's
No,
amazing.
really, what's it about exactly?
He's Peacemaker.
So basically, he comes on the scene to make peace with everybody. I mean,
Well, you see, the thing is, he wants world peace. And if
oh,
you don't want world peace, then you have to fucking die.
oh,
Because
God,
that's
does
how
that
we
make sense?
achieve world peace.
So nothing changes basically, right?
He's
We
a
just
member
kill
of the
people.
Suicide Squad, bro.
Is he? Well, I've never really seen much of Peacemaker, bro. Like seriously, to be honest.
Oh
with
man, you're missing out. Like for real. He's a hilarious character. He's
Really?
very Rorschach mixed with Captain Hammer from Dr. Horrible. Like he's just completely clueless, but he wants world peace. He just knows that he has to kill everybody in the world in order to achieve it.
God, so that's how we get peace, by killing people.
Yes. But of
Oh.
course now he's a government hired assassin.
Oh, okay. Because that makes sense because nothing really changes, right? So we still kill
Right, like
people anyway.
he's the bad guy who gets locked in jail and becomes a government agent, and if he doesn't do what the government tells him to, he goes back to jail, and like they've got to cover for him like accidentally murdering other people because they piss him off, and it's great, dude. It's great. It's perfect John Cena. It's the John Cena that I've always wanted.
You know what though? As I was watching that little thing about Peacemaker just there, the little intro, I couldn't help but notice that John Cena would be a great RoboCop.
Right?
Seriously, tell me he wouldn't be great at playing RoboCop.
It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing.
I'm being serious too.
Does Brock Lesnar go into WrestleMania as the WWE champion, or by some tomfuckery, do we end up with John Cena as the champ? Do we end up with AJ Styles as WWE champion? Randy Orton? Like, is there any possibility anybody takes this title off of Brock Lesnar, or are they just doing this to sell tickets to Madison Square Garden because ticket sales are in the crapper?
That's all, man. That's all they're doing it for. It's just for the ticket sales. Come on, man. Why would you take the title off Brock Lesnar? Let's be honest now, right? As much as we've seen this matchup a million times over the years, let's be honest, we've seen it a lot. I still think this is the best possible matchup you can have on the roster right now, this minute. They're the only two guys that are red hot right now, bro, in WWE.
You still get that match. I mean, you would still get that match. You would just have a WWE championship match as well.
No, but the fact that they've announced unification, I'm actually intrigued by it because what do? Do we go back to 2002 where we had that undisputed championship where we have the champion floating between both shows? Jericho?
I guess. Wasn't Jericho the first undisputed champion?
He was, but
beat the Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night.
Right. There wasn't the brand split yet, though.
That's true.
It was 2001. The brand split came in at 2002. So if you remember that first brand split, we had a floating champion.
Who is there anybody else on the roster that even by some chicanery, like Cody? Could you bring in Cody opposite of Brock Lesnar? And Paul Heyman's somehow comes out, does a striptease for Brock Lesnar. Brock gets distracted. Cody rolls him up for 3. Is there anything that we could do there?
It will work in the short term, but it doesn't pay off in the long term.
I mean, I think there's about a 0% chance of Cody Rhodes ever beating Brock Lesnar. It's just like there's a 0% chance of Cody Rhodes just giving me my fucking money.
Yeah, Cody, you bitch.
God,
pay up.
Pay up, man, bro. You just got a contract between $2.5-3 million, and you can't give me the money that you owe me.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm hearing he's getting $3 million a year, dude. So he better pay you that fucking money, or else.
Right?
Jesus, you tight ass. But in saying that,
ridiculous.
Pat McAfee pretty much confirmed him signing with WWE. So can we safely say now, there's no if or buts about it, he's pretty much WWE now?
Well, and The Miz also paid homage to Cody Monday night on Raw. Right. Edge also paid homage to Cody Rhodes Monday night on Raw. It's not smoke and mirrors,
dude. Even the social media account of WWE's.
But the thing that was interesting to me about it is both references, when Miz brought it up and when Edge brought it up, the fans went, crickets.
I couldn't hear anything.
And that now it kind of begs the question for me, how much crossover is there between the AEW audience and the WWE audience? What is the reaction to Cody going to be? And is Cody in real trouble already because Vince McMahon always viewed him as a mid-carder? We dropped a couple of references to you and nobody reacted. Is Vince still going to see him as a mid-carder? It's just a mid-carder that we're paying $3 million to. I feel like Cody might be dead straight out of the gate.
Interesting. Funny enough, look, there's got to be some sort of crossover, only because clearly on the AEW side of things, the fans know exactly who's who when they jump over. Let's be honest, they do, right? So obviously, some of these fan
Well,
base
yeah, but
actually
that would
watch WWE.
but that would make sense even if they stopped watching WWE the day that Dynamite debuted, because there's
True.
WWE talent. But like, I don't know if the WWE audience has any idea what's going on in AEW, with the exception of like a very small fraction of the
Nah, of
audience.
course, man. No, you're right. We'll see, because I've noticed the WWE fan base lately has been very young, dude. I'm talking about on TV.
And
I've never seen so many kids
well, I
up
mean,
until last week on SmackDown.
Cody's been gone for 5 years.
Yeah,
If you
actually
just
6.
6 years. Okay, so if you just started watching WWE 5 years ago, and that's all you watch, you are a casual fan, and you've been watching pro wrestling for 5 whole years now. I know how it works, man.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Do you have any idea who Cody Rhodes even is? And if you only watch WWE going back 20 years and Cody shows up, is it a big deal because of how he was treated there the first time?
Well, that's the
Because you
million-dollar
didn't
question.
see what he did in New Japan. You didn't see what he did in Ring of Honor. You don't care about AEW. All you watch is WWE. Is it really a big deal that Cody shows up?
Look, for maybe you and I, someone like you and I, like our type of fan base, it kind of is a big deal, but not really. But it's still, I'll be excited to see him in WWE. Let's be honest. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
I don't get me
We'll see
wrong.
what
I
happens.
think Cody's going where he belongs. I think he's more
Right.
of a sports entertainer than a pro
Definitely.
wrestler. I think he's a main event WWE talent, but just the reaction I've seen from WWE only fans and casual fans, I think this is going to go over like a fart in church.
I hope you're wrong, man. But
I
I've
hope
got a
I'm
bad
wrong
feeling
too, but
I think, look, if they pull it off at the night after WrestleMania, even though it's not going to be the same, unfortunately, because there won't be fans really traveling, I don't think, this time around, right? Hopefully there are, because when the international fan base comes down, it's always a special night on the Raw after WrestleMania. It's electric, man. And that's really the right time to debut him. You debut him on the Raw after Mania, because that's always the special time to do it. But it all depends on the fan base that turns up, bro. If it's a bunch of hardcore fans, he's going to get probably cheered, but he'll quickly sort of get booed like after a week or two. You know what I mean? It'll just be that initial excitement, and then we're back to hating Cody.
you know what I would do? What I think I would do, honestly, for Cody, to bring him in and make him feel like he's a big deal inside of the WWE universe, to reintroduce him to fans who have no idea what Cody's been up to for the last 6 years. I would have Vince McMahon come out to the middle of the ring at NXT Stand and Deliver.
Oh, no.
And introduce the new general manager of NXT, Cody Rhodes.
I was about to spit out my drink, dude.
I really think that would be the best way to reintroduce Cody to the WWE universe. I really do.
I've got one better, actually. You introduce him on NXT, but as the new COO of WWE.
Well, I bring him in as William Regal's replacement.
Yeah, okay.
And then it leads to a match between him and somebody. And I mean, you can milk that for 6 months to a year. You know what I mean? And then you bring him up to the main roster. I mean, very Drew McIntyre. Like, Drew McIntyre had no business going to NXT when he came back.
Right, but he had to reprove himself to the old man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure that after what happened Monday on Raw that Cody doesn't have to too.
No, I agree. He definitely has to prove himself again to the old man and show him why he's not Stardust.
And it all leads to a match between Cody and Triple H next year at WrestleMania.
I said the same thing, man. I said the exact same thing. Now, it all depends on how serious his heart condition was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I do also think that it wasn't as bad as people made it out to be. Only reason why I say that, he was pretty quick going back to work, dude. I mean, there is footage of him, like, with Vince and stuff like that. He seemed fine by me. I mean, could it possibly be, and I doubt it is, I'm just saying it's just I'm just putting it out there. Could it be possible that his heart scare was all a work, and this is all possibly leading up to a Cody Triple H match, and that was the plan all along?
I mean, at this point, bro, I think everything is a work.
Right.
Like I'm even watching what's happening in the Ukraine right now, and I'm not sure.
Dude,
I'm
my
not
mind
sure
has
that
changed
that's
now.
not all
Yeah,
a work.
You're right, dude. After it's funny. I'm glad you brought that up because I just wanted to say to you, man, and I don't want to bore our listeners, but I'll just say it. When we first spoke about it, I believe on Uncaged, we briefly touched on it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a different mindset about it. Now, after looking more into it, I have done a complete 360, dude. I'm starting to think there's a lot of shady shit going on in Ukraine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of shady
Plus,
shit.
The footage, I'm hearing also rumors that the footage could be back from 2012, 2014.
Man, you know the one that killed me the other night? I saw this last night, I guess it was, on Fox News, right?
Right.
They had footage of a shitty ass 1-bedroom apartment in Kiev.
Right.
And they had footage of from inside of the apartment.
Oh, the fucking bomb?
Of the bomb going off.
Yeah, the rocket, right.
I'm just so that we're clear. All shitty 1-bedroom apartments in Kiev, do they all come with a special security system that will, you know, withstand a bomb blast and immediately send the footage to Fox News? I just want to be clear. Like, is that standard issue, or do you have to pay a couple extra rupees for that?
No. That's standard, bro. That's the Ukraine special.
On.
That one.
They showed
Russian
video.
proof.
They showed video of Russian soldiers, and they were running across the street the other day.
Yeah,
and they weren't wearing the same outfits. And they were in like no kind of a line or anything. And I'm like, you expect me to believe this is the Russian military?
You know,
really?
You know what else is funny? I'm glad you brought that one up too, man. I haven't actually seen a Russian soldier yet.
And the best one, and I forgot, I wish I could remember the name of the analyst, made a comment last night that Putin is worried because of the spirit of the Ukrainians. They're fighting off the Russians. He's so worried that Vladimir Putin has doubled his personal security. And they are worried that the Ukrainians could take the Kremlin.
Oh, no way.
And I was like, wait, so we have went from, are you fucking kidding me, bro?
That is, I heard that too.
If that happens, that is straight up Great Reset, World Economic Forum, fucking George Soros and Klaus Schwab.
Well,
and like
George Soros is another one. I'm glad you brought his name up too, because he has a big part in this shit too, bro. That's another thing, man. I'll send you a video. It will open your eyes, dude. This shit stinks of tomfuckery, should I say. Let's put it this way. I'm not the biggest fan of Putin, right?
No,
but I think we're not getting told the truth, bro. That's for sure.
Yeah,
there is way more to this shit than simply Russia attacking Ukraine.
Yes, that's
way more.
As Chabela Veracruz likes to point out in the chat, wag the dog.
Wag the dog. It's true. Shout out to the professor.
Shout out to the prof.
The real prof, by the way.
That's right. Not Serena Deeb. She ain't got nothing on Chabela Veracruz. I think we should do Serena Deeb versus Chabela Veracruz in a 5-minute rookie challenge inside of a steel cage.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe they can have one of those dog kennel matches like Toru Yano and fucking Minoru Suzuki had the other day. Did you see that shit?
Nah. I didn't. Don't tell me that shit.
The point of the match was to lock your opponent inside of a dog kennel and then put 3 locks on the door.
Really?
New Japan Pro fucking Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, man.
It's bad.
Have we really hit a whole new level?
It's very bad. You know what else is very bad about New Japan Pro Wrestling? This is such a great segue. Somehow we go from Vladimir Putin to the Great Sanada, ladies and gentlemen. The Great Sanada, as my boy Billy Ray Valentine likes to call him.
Oh, man.
Sanada has finally won his first singles IWGP championship, and it is the United States Championship. They took the title off of Hiroshi Tanahashi again, to put it on the Great Sanada. Jimmy T, is the matchup between Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi for the IWGP United States Championship ever going to happen? Because we've been building to it for like a year and a half now, man.
Well, until Japan properly opens its doors, and they're still paranoid, mind you. They're living in fear in Japan.
So why not
it's
just
never
have the
happened.
Ace go on this great run where he just defends the title and makes it so prestigious and people are invested in it? Nope. He's lost it twice now.
I'm afraid even if he came to the States, would he be able to get back into Japan?
Probably not.
That's the problem. You know what I mean? So,
Probably
and this shit throws all sorts of shit up in the air because we don't know what the future holds, man, right now. We don't even know when Switchblade will ever get back to Japan.
Well, and especially, did you see the brackets for New Japan Cup?
I haven't yet, actually. What's the brackets? Oh, maybe I did, actually. I did catch it briefly, actually.
They are doing a 48-man tournament.
Now, that's hectic,
48-man tournament.
That is huge.
And I mean, when they first announced it, I was like, freaking sweet. We are going to have Jon Moxley in this tournament. We're going to get Switchblade back in this tournament. We're going to bring over all the young lions from the LA dojo. Like Clark Connor's finally going to get his shot. Like we are opening the borders. This is going to be amazing. We might even bring Shooter back from the UK from Rev Pro, right?
Oh, like he's ready, bro.
I know he's ready. If he could just get into the fucking country, but finally, we're here, like in the return of New Japan, 48-man tournament. And then I saw the brackets.
It's a stinker.
You've got guys like Jado in this tournament. Gato's in this tournament. Dick Togo is in this tournament. Brilliant. Shima is in this tournament. Hiroshi Tenzan is in this tournament. I mean, they're regular young lions. You know, the guys who have never won a match.
Dude, I heard Kenta Kobashi could be in it.
All of the juniors are in this tournament.
Really?
Yeah, Hiromu's in it, Bushi's in it, Despi's in it, Sho's in it.
So we get a chance so possibly we could have a matchup with Takahashi and someone else?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like from the heavyweight division?
Yeah, you bet.
I'm excited for that, actually, because like I was telling you on Uncaged, could we possibly get Hiromu in the heavyweight division, even though he's not a heavyweight?
Let's see. Who does Hiromu face off with in... Well, this is business just picked up, as good old JR would say. Hiromu's first match in the tournament is against Sho. So, which
we've seen that, though.
That will be a fine matchup, but
the
way they have laid out the 48-man tournament, there are 12 men that get buys in the first round. So we know...
Why? On what basis, though?
But we know by no basis whatsoever, because the talent that gets the buys makes zero sense. Zero. But we do know that the winner of Sho versus Hiromu will face Minoru Suzuki in the second round.
What? Please let it be Hiromu.
Hiromu and Minoru Suzuki.
I mean, that would literally be a crazy match.
Yeah, I'm down for that. The other buys inside of the tournament, just in case people were wondering. Let's see. We have Tangaloa gets a buy in the first round. El Phantasmo gets a buy in the first round. Taija Ishimori will face off with the winner of Kota Ibushi versus the Great Okan. We have Master Wado getting a bye in the first round. Dick Togo immediately through to the second round. Gato immediately through to the second round. Yeah, go figure, right? And one of the young lions, Fujita. Yeah, he immediately needs to go through to the second round as well. So, yes, absolutely zero logic. Like they drew it out of the fucking hat, kind of like Stardom deciding who's going to compete at Wrestle Kingdom. They drew straws to see who was going to get the buys.
Do you think they actually did draw straws for the buys? I bet you they did.
It's possible. It's very possible. And Gato is the guy who put the straws in there, so he knew exactly which one to draw.
That's fucked up, man. And to think New Japan, you know, they were a stickler for like organization. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
where they
It's
booked
just
things
went
that
to
made
hell.
sense. It went to hell, and I mean hell. It went
It's-
actually to Tartarus, dude.
Yeah. It's
That's how low we went.
Not
We
good.
went, and it's sad because it's so unlike New Japan.
the most interesting thing happening in New Japan Pro Wrestling is currently taking place on Impact Television. I mean,
Yeah, can you believe that shit?
That tells you anything. To wrap things up this week, let's talk about celebrities. We know that it is going to be Sami Zayn versus the jackass Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And we're also going to have Logan Paul teaming up with The Miz to take on the Mysterios.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I am too. But the real question is, does anybody give a fuck? Because like it used to be like we're bringing in guys like Lawrence Taylor, we're bringing in guys like Mr. T, and it's like a main event program. I don't think anybody cares about Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville.
That's dumb, dude. Let's
the
be honest.
Logan Paul one is a little bit more interesting to me, not in the respect that I think more people are going to tune in because people don't like the Paul brothers. Like, I don't think anybody who's not already watching WWE TV is going to tune in to see Logan Paul, especially in a matchup that he stands a very good chance of winning. He's going to be the biggest guy in the ring. But I could see Logan Paul becoming Mongo McMichael.
See, I was gonna say don't be surprised if he sticks around a lot longer than you think. Right?
I could see him being good at this.
Well, see, that all depends if he's good at it. If he's good at it, where he sort of earns the fans' respect, just like Bad Bunny did in many ways.
Right. I mean, like if he comes in and he treats this like a Lawrence Taylor, you know, if he comes in, he treats it like Mongo McMichael. If he is a celebrity that like would just come in and stick around and, you know, maybe he wrestles for like 2 years, I think they could make some money with Logan Paul.
Absolutely. I agree, man. And you know, for all the people that hate the guy, I love seeing him knock out freaking like some veterans, man. But I want to see him knock. Yeah, well, yeah.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah, that was funny though.
That one was pretty funny.
The way he got dropped.
But I mean look seriously. At Nate Robinson and look at Logan Paul. Like those two guys, if this was licensed boxing, that match wouldn't even be allowed to happen.
No, it was a freaking heavyweight against like a junior heavyweight. Seriously.
Yeah. I mean,
like triple junior heavyweight. And when I say that, I'm talking about what's lighter than lightweight.
Big Ray Hernandez says, bring back Mr. T, fool.
I pity the fool.
He said fool, but I know he actually meant foo.
Fool. And speaking of Big Ray Hernandez, the motherfucker sent me a text, right? And says to me, I know you're live. I just wanted to send you some love, right? And he sends me a picture of him flipping the bird. Well, right back at you, Big Ray, you cunt.
You sexy, sexy man. Sexy man.
Very sexy.
Very cute, very sexy.
Very cute, very sexy.
Since I know Big Ray Hernandez happens to be watching the show, Big Ray Hernandez, we will sign off with this. I am Michael Jargo. That is Jimmy T. You can find me at Not Jargo. Find him at DJ Mass Effects. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, it's a bit of a go-home show. It's a bit of a go-home show because next week is going to be my last edition of the blow-off for the immediate future. Big things coming for the Jargo clan as we pack up the house, sell the house, and get off towards our next adventure. Jimmy T going to be holding it down with some guest hosts. Maybe we'll even get Big Ray Hernandez to come show up on the show. Jimmy T, anything you want to say before we send Big Ray Hernandez home as a member of the Inner Circle?
No, I think we should send it home with the Inner Circle, bro. Especially this is going out to you, Big Ray.
Just for our boy, Big Ray Hernandez, tuned into K-Live 105. We will catch you next week on the blow-off. For now, we're off like a prom dress. See ya.